Young and Ace and Foolio are two of the biggest rappers from Jacksonville, Florida, and they've been locked in a crazy beef for years that put both of their names in the spotlight. Some of the most savage diss tracks in the history of rap have come out of their beef, and Ace's homie Spinabenz is responsible for the viral song, Who I Smoke. Today we're breaking down his wild come-up and how he helped put the war in Jacksonville on the front page. Let's get right into it. Not much is known about Spinabenz's early life, but we do know he hopped off the porch way younger than most dudes who get involved in the streets. His older brother's another rapper named Wappa with the Chopper, and they both started getting in trouble at a young age. They started off in private school, but being in a nicer environment didn't keep her from being active in the streets. Wappa says back then, he wasn't even that bad of a kid, but Spinabenz was acting wild since he was 9 years old. They was always getting in fights and partying, and not before long, they jump off the porch for real. Even though they was acting out and getting in trouble, Spinabenz and Wappa was always involved with music too. Back in the day, Wappa would freestyle with his homies, and Spinabenz would hop in and try to keep up, even though he was younger than everybody. Back then, they didn't take it seriously though, and rapping was just a hobby. But after they started going in and out of jail, Spinabenz and Wappa both knew they needed to switch up how they moved and find a way out of the streets. Spinabenz ended up dropping out of school in the 10th grade after he got caught with a gun and ended up with a felony charge. He told DJ Small's Eyes that he was in the whip with some homies when the cops pulled him over and found the strap. Spinabenz says the gun wasn't even his, but the cops pinned it on him and he spent around a year in jail. After he got out, Spinabenz didn't really see a reason to go back to school, and he was only free for a week before he got locked up again on a probation violation. After getting booked back to back, he knew he never wanted to end up in that situation again. Spinabenz and Wappa started a rap collective called BMG on SoundCloud, but the music wasn't popping off, so they started posting on YouTube instead. Even though Spinabenz was trying to make it in the rap game, he still had a foot in the streets and got tied up in Young and Ace's war against Foolio. Ace and Spinabenz actually met each other online playing Call of Duty. Then they found out their homies knew each other, so they linked up and started making music together. Spinabenz wasn't too heavy in the streets at that point, but linking up with Ace put him right in the middle of Jacksonville's craziest beef. Most rap fans didn't start paying attention to what was going on in Jacksonville until last year when it hit the mainstream, but it allegedly all started back in 2017. That year, Young and Ace blew up with the track Go to War, and his homie DeAndre Thomas killed Foolio's cousin, Zion Brown. Ace wasn't with Thomas when he murdered Zion, but rumors were flying that he was involved somehow. This is what allegedly sparked the whole beef, and it only got worse from there. In June 2018, Ace, his brother, and two of their homies were leaving a steakhouse after celebrating one of their birthdays. That's when a car pulled up and started letting off shots. Ace's brother and two homies all got killed, and Ace barely survived after getting hit 8 times. Both sides lost a lot of people over the next couple of years, including Foolio's brother, Bibby. It's not clear how involved Spinabenz was in the violence, but his homie Lil Leaky was one of the most savage dudes in the city. Before he was killed in 2020, Leaky was one of Foolio's biggest ops and allegedly even almost killed his girlfriend. On April 20th, 2020, Foolio's girl was driving his whip to the gas station when someone saw the car and started shooting. She ducked down and drove off, but ended up getting hit 3 times and losing a finger. It was never confirmed that Leaky was the shooter, but Spinabenz dissed Foolio on the track I Don't Smoke Kendre and said, "This mama got shot and he's still tweaking. This got shot. Pooh, I know she leaving. They shot that whole finger off. She couldn't even tweet it." Leaky also allegedly took out a dude named Jump Out in broad daylight, and then in September 2020, he was shot and killed right in front of Spinabenz. Leaky, Spinabenz, and some other homies were sitting in the whip when another car pulled up and started shooting. According to rumors, Leaky was high off lean and couldn't react fast enough, and he ended up getting shot in the head and died at the hospital later that night. 2 months later, Foolio's 6 Block crew took 2 L's back to back. A dude named Spaz 2 Times was murdered at the Hilltop Village apartment, and the next day, a dude named Rod K was shot and killed at the same place. Rod K was starting to pop off in the drill scene with tracks like Strap Store and HotBoii, and being affiliated with Foolio was definitely helping his career. It looked like he had the potential to be the next big rapper in the city, but he was found by the police with gunshot wounds one day after his homie got killed. Nobody knows who killed them, but there's been all kinds of rumors about Rod K's death. Some say he was spinning the block trying to get revenge for Spaz, but others believe he was backdoored by his own people. After whatever went down at the Hilltop Apartments, Spinabenz and Wappa both dissed the ops over the situation. Wappa wrote, "You can talk about Leaky all day, but not your dogs who got smoked after him," on IG, and Spinabenz dissed them both on records. At this point, the war in Jacksonville was already crazy, but then Spinabenz, Ace, Wappa, and Fast Money Goon took it to the next level when they dropped Who I Smoke. Spinabenz told Dirty Glove Bastard that he came up with the idea of using Vanessa Carlton's track 1,000 Miles for the sample, and when he got the beat back from the producer, everyone knew it was going to be a hit. The song popped off like crazy and racked up millions of views. Part of what made it so popular was the catchy upbeat sample combined with some of the most savage disses rap fans have ever heard. Spinabenz opened the track up by dissing Rod K on the line, "Rod K dead and he never coming back, boy. We gonna treat this like a match, how we strike, boy. Left his ass in the street, it's the end of your life, boy." The rest of the track is full of disses aimed at Foolio and his dead homies, including his little brother Bibby. Before Who I Smoke dropped, the war in Jacksonville was only covered by the local news, but Spinabenz and the rest of them put the beef in the spotlight after the video went viral and racked up over 40 million views on YouTube. A couple months later, Spinabenz took more shots at Rod K and spazzed 2 times on the track I Don't Smoke Kendrick. He said, "Rod K died, he was spinning, guess he freezed up. F his last words, cool, the last thing he seen was us." And Spaz 2 times got dropped, how he do that? Scrolling through his phone at Hilltop, thought you knew that. All the wild dissing got a lot of eyes on Spinabenz, but before he could take it to the next level and hit the mainstream, he caught another gun charge and got locked up again. Cops pulled him over while he was riding around with his girlfriend and ended up finding guns in the car. Spinabenz can't have weapons since he's a felon, but the guns were registered in his girl's name and were all legal. That ain't stopped the police from booking him on a gun charge though. They found less than 20% of his DNA on one of the straps, but that was enough for him to catch the charge and go to court. He was originally let out on bond, but back in September, he got locked up again after he took his ankle monitor off. Spinabenz was facing 30 years on the gun charge, and the prosecutors even used his lyrics against him in court. On the track My Glock, he said, "My Glock cost 300. Oh, she 18? Get that 300 too." They tried to make it seem like Spinabenz admitted to having his girl buy him a gun in her name, and they also brought up other lyrics where he talks about guns and violence to prove he was guilty. Luckily, the jury found him not guilty since there was no real evidence against him, but Spinabenz isn't out of trouble yet. He's still facing up to 5 years in prison for tampering with the ankle monitor, but it's not clear when that trial will start. Hopefully, Spinabenz beats the case and focuses on his music. He also talks about wanting to get his GED before, and it's clear that he's not trying to be caught up in situations like this. Spinabenz reveals to DJ Small's Eyes that he's been diagnosed with PTSD, and he even let fans know how much pain the streets have caused him on tracks like Never Think Like That, where he raps, "It get cold out here in these streets, walking alone, no coat with my heat. Bad vibes so strong, make it hard to find peace. And I ain't got nobody to call, but everybody call me. And bad news on the phone, it made my heart skip a beat. Drowning in my emotions, make it hard for me to breathe." Spinabenz definitely has a talent to make it in the rap game and leave the streets behind. So hopefully he makes the right move and gets out of Jacksonville if he hasn't already. Rest in peace to everyone affected by the violence in Jacksonville.